Chapter 6. Skipper of the Otters held two limp figures close to him. Loggalog Groo took a swift look at them, shaking his head reprovingly at the Otter Chieftain. "What were you thinking, old great river dog? You gone and scared the little uns right out of their senses, pouncing on them like that. Shame on ye!" Skipper's face was a picture of dismay that Loggalog was forced to smile. He clapped his friend's back. "No real harm done, Skip. They're safe enough now. Let's get 'em back to the Abbey. Mem Flackery and old Malbon'll have the rascals as right as rain." Skipper covered the unconscious pair with his cloak. "Ain't nothin' right about rain, matey. Don't tell Mem or Malbon this, or they'll have me rudder for rug strings." Girdle Sprink and old Crinkles were keeping watch in the northwest wall battlements, peering out into the rain-swept night. They held their lanterns hot. The sailor hog was first to hear Skipper's powerful shout, "Ahoy, the Abbey! Any beast home? We're coming in!" Crinkles swung his lantern to and fro as the girl yelled, "Come in by the north wicket gate, Skip, me old mate." Hurrying down the wall steps, the gatekeeper and the sailor hog withdrew the bolts on the small gate in the center of the rampart wall. He held up his lantern. "Over here, Skip. Har, I see you got some gals in with ye. Welcome, friends. Get in here out of the rain. Well done, you found the dubbins. Good tracking, pals." Blankets were laid near the hearth in front of the fire at Cavern Hole. Abbot Appomattox watched anxiously as Malbon Grimp tended to the little one's bruises and scratches. Skipper warmed his paws by the blaze. Groo spotted her east and touched north in the woodlands. "I'm surprised two babes could have gotten that far alone." Mem Flackery held a small camphor vial under the Dibbins' nose. Screwing their faces, they coughed and whined as they began to come around. The Heriner spoke without looking. I'm never surprised at anything Flippin' Dibbins can get up to. What? Especially these two fiends." What? I say, Groo, old lad, what's that thing you've got there?" Loggalog Groo passed a shining object over to the abbot. It fell from the Mobabe's paw when Skipper grabbed picked him up. "'Tis heavy enough, I'll tell ye." Appomattox inspected the object, holding it near to the firelight. It was bright yellow metal with a thick oblong band, smooth to the touch. On either curve of the oblong jet black spun twinkled. Sculpted in the center of the band was a curious inset design. The good old Father Abbot passed the stone to Crinkles. "I can't make head nor tail of it. You take a look, old one." Nodding his head, the ancient shrewd gatekeeper spoke. "'Tis a paw ring, meant to fit over the broadest part of some beast's paw. Very nicely crafted, too, from the finest gold. You see these two black stones? They're true jet, rare precious gems. But as far for the markings on it, I'm afraid I haven't the slightest idea what they mean." Ruggum and Bankel were sufficiently recovered to sit up. They looked at their elders sheepishly. "Zers, we gotten lost." Bankel nodded vigorously agreement. They decided to blame Mem and Skipper. She pointed an accusing paw at them. "Yous locked the gates on us. We was shutted out. Us'ns knocked, but no beast ear. So we go for a walk in a woods." The Hariners muttered under breath. "Locked them out. Fibbin' little wrenches, what?" Formal Ern, the traditional leader of all Redwall moles, came trundling in. Ern was brought supper for the runaways. "Oi saved ye some whortleberry pudding and a breaker of strawberry cordial apiece. Though you ain't been deservin' of it, you right pair of scallywaggers, oi." The Dubbin hugged formal Ern. They sat about eating like ravenous beasts. Appomattox whispered to the formal, "Baby Binkle is a dreadful liar. We won't get the truth out of her. See if you can coax Ruggum to tell you what happened." Ern wrinkled his jolly face as they winked both eyes at the abbot. "You leave it to oi, sir. Oi find out e truth." Dibbins liked and trusted the formal, and Ern soon had the Mobabe telling all. He licked pudding from a spoon. Ruggum related his story. "Yer now, let oi think. How, yes, we was lost in the forest, somewheres east, north, south. It were a-comin' on to rain, so we ran around and looked for shelter. Sky went all dark, and the wind blow, and the rain falled. It were torrible. You're just torrible. All of a sudden, we found a great oak tree, Baroy, with a little door in it. So us opened it up and get in out of the rain wet. As if not wanting to explain further, the mole babe went silent and began licking his pudding bowl out. Formal Ern took the bowl from him and shoved the paw ring under Righam's nose. "Tell Easer Abbot how we got in this your object." Righam babbled on, a veritable deluge of words. I followed down a girt hole with stairs on it and grabbed the object. There were a great monster serpent and a snowy white giant. I run away fast afore they eat die. Righam threw himself face down in the blanket, wrapping his head in it, an indication that he'd speak no more to any beast. Formal Ern took Bibble upon his lap. "You're a silly old feller. You're a gort child. Tell ye about e little door and he oak." Bickle dipped her paws in the strawberry cordial and did a scrawl upon the floor near the hearth. "Me think that was written on the door." The squirrel-based marking were hard to decipher. B-O-K-A-L. The gaps in between the letters were filled in with Binkle's fanciful swirls. Erm studied it, scratched his chin. "Looks like a worm wiggle on oi." Malcolm, however, grew quite excited. She turned to Crinkles. "Can you see what that looks like?" The ancient shrew peered at it and shrugged. "I'm afraid not. Should I know?" Without replying, Malcolm took out a charcoal twig from the hearth and wrote underneath Binkle's attempt the word Brockall. She compared the letters to the letters the Dublin had made. "See, there's a B, an O, K, A, and one of the L's. It's Brockall. Sure as if it were fur on your face. They found Brockall." Mem Flackery's bruised face wrapped both Dublins in the blankets, ready to be carried off up to the dormitories. "What in the name of my aunt's pinafore is Brockall, what?" Melbourne explained patiently. Brockall was once the home of badgers, but it was used by Redwallers before the abbey was even built. It was so long ago that the exact location of the place has been lost. Crinkles and I have read on it in some of the old gatehouse records. We've been researching it, trying to find out more about Brockall. It's a virtually important part of our abbey's early history. Now the Dubbins have stumbled on it purely by accident. Who knows what we might have found in the ancient place? Mem twitched her long ears fussedly. "Indeed, great monster serpents and snowy white giants. If Righam's to be believed, what?" Formal Ern brandished the jet-studded gold paw ring. "Her, a girt wonderful treasures look this one, mayhap." All eyes were fixed on the paw ring. It glinted in the firelight. Gooch the squirrel cock gave a voice onto what was thinking. "A store of hidden jewels and gold. 'Twould be a treasure hunt." Sister Vernal, normally shy as your mouse, leapt up, crying, "A treasure hunt? That's for me. When do we start?"